Statement of the Law Society of Kenya on the death of Mr. Albert Onjwang while in police custody at Central Police Station. On 8 June 2025, the family and friends of Mr. Albert Onjwang woke up to the shocking news that their kin was no more. While his death is a profound loss for those who held him dearest, the news of his demise has left our entire nation mourning and questioning the safety of the people in the hands of those sworn to protect and to serve them. The story of Albert Onjwang is not the utumishi kwa wote that every officer of the National Police Service bears on their chest. It does not reflect a police service committed to the constitutional standards of human rights and fundamental freedoms. Rather, it's an inexcusable contradiction of the oath of office to which each officer is bound and must abide by their service to Kenya. The Law Society of Kenya expresses its profound condemnation of the death of Mr. Albert Onjwang while in police custody at the Central Police Station, Nairobi. Mr. Onjwang, who was arrested in Homa Bay while in full health, was detained at Mawengo Police Station before being moved to Nairobi, where he was confined at the Central Police Station before his untimely demise in the wee hours of the night. From the preliminary reports, Mr. Onjwang's apprehension was on the basis of some allegations of false publications stemming from his activity on social media. According to the Inspector General of the National Police Service, the said false publication relates to a complaint by the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, Mr. Eliud Langat, and that his name had been tarnished. From the onset, we note that all events leading to the untimely and unfortunate death of Mr. Onjwang reek of illegality, malice, and abuse of authority. As we have already pointed out, Mr. Onjwang was initially arrested in Homa Bay and held at Mawengo Police Station. Section 71 of the Criminal Procedure Code clearly states that unless a court transfers a case to another court, every offense must be tried by a court within the local limits of whose jurisdiction it was committed or the accused person arrested. The fundamental question that behoves the National Police Service is whether they had evidence that Mr. Onjwang had committed the offense of the alleged publication of the false information for which he was arrested in Nairobi. In the absence of such evidence, there is absolutely no rationale why Mr. Onjwang could not be produced to the nearest law courts within Homa Bay County to answer to any charges against him, or for relevant transfer orders to be made. That notwithstanding, we are further apprehensive over the persuasion behind the overnight transfer of Mr. Onjwang to Nairobi without proper court orders. The National Police Service standing orders unequivocally set out the process for station-to-station transfer of arrested persons. Chapter 15 of the standing orders requires that when an arrested person is wanted at another police station, a report of the arrest of such a person must be made to a magistrate and an application to remand and transfer the person made. We are certain that no magistrate sat on the night of 7th June 2025 to grant the police permission to transfer Mr. Albert Onjwang from Mawengo Police Station to Central Police Station. Evidently, the failure to adhere to the law and due process discloses the existence of ill will, bad faith, and malice in the arrest of Mr. Albert Onjwang. Accordingly, we oppose any proposition that his death was an accident or that it can be justified. The entire predicament encountered by Mr. Onjwang prior to his death is consistent with a criminal conspiracy which must be fully investigated and prosecuted. The National Police Service owes Kenyans an explanation on why Albert Onjwang was handled with such animosity that he met his death within police custody. The rights enshrined in our Constitution apply to every Kenyan unless limited in accordance to the law. On account of their duties under Article 244 of the Constitution of Kenya, police officers are required individually and collectively to ensure that these rights are protected and upheld. Any action by police officers that does not only undermine the rights of any person, but worse, still discloses such arbitrariness and contempt for due process, as in the case of Albert, can neither be condoned nor justified. The treatment of Mr. Albert Onjwang is a betrayal against him and a betrayal against the people of Kenya. This cannot be wished away as an isolated incident because it is illustrative of deeper systematic weaknesses within the National Police Service. Kenya has no room for extrajudicial killings and criminal conduct by police. This is a past for which too much has been sacrificed to unshackle our country from. While we note the efforts by the Inspector General in interdicting officers believed to have been involved in the conspiracy that led to Albert's death to pave way for investigation, the same is far from sufficient in resolving the matter. First of all, we ask the Inspector General of Police why hasn't he named the particular officers that have been interdicted. What is the need of hiding? Let Kenyans know, and the ambiguity of saying in any other officer. Who are these any other officers? And secondly, the officers who picked Mr. Albert Onjwang from Homa Bay, are they part and parcel of those who have been interdicted? Without telling Kenyans in plain word of who these individuals are, will be treated to just PR for purposes of calming down the citizens of Kenya. We want to know who are these officers, the ones who picked Mr. Albert Onjwang, are they part and parcel of those interdicted? And secondly, those interdicted, we want to know their names. We want to know each and every officer involved so that we can follow and find out what are the due processes that will follow, and we know the individual officers that are being held accountable. To ensure a meaningful and credible outcome to the intended investigations, we demand an unequivocal commitment by the National Police Service that they will unreservedly cooperate with the investigations undertaken by IPOA and provide all necessary access, material, and evidence that will fast-track the investigations. Further, there must be corresponding undertaking by the National Police Service that there will be no interference or intervention whatsoever on their part, save for what is reasonably required by IPOA. To ascertain this, we equally call upon the Deputy Inspector General of the Kenya Police Service, Mr. Eliud Langat, to publicly and unconditionally recuse himself from taking part or influencing the investigations in any way, save for as may be required of him as a potential witness. We note that this recusal is necessary to dispel any apprehension of prejudice and conflict of interest that may arise on his account of his role as the complainant against Mr. Albert Onjwang. Secondly, the safety of Kenyans, whether suspected of offenses or not, is not a matter for which we can accept reactiveness. We demand proactivity. The Law Society of Kenya has consistently raised concerns over the safety of detainees while in police custody and the trend of abuse and mistreatment that has characterized Kenya police cells. In particular, we have sounded grave apprehension over Central Police Station in Nairobi, which has been a poster boy for police brutality and overreach. This must come to an end. Further, we note that previously the Council of Law Society of Kenya had raised concerns with the Inspector General of Police against Nairobi Central Police Station for being violators of the rights of arrested persons. We call upon IPOA to expeditiously investigate concerns raised and keep Kenyans appraised of the outcome of the investigations. While the National Police Service, through the Inspector General of Police, have given their commitment, will also hold IPOA accountable to be able to carry out credible investigations and update Kenyans on the status of the same. The Law Society of Kenya will pursue drastic reforms within police stations across the country, especially those that have consistently been cited as danger zones for persons detained therein. We invite members of the public to support this endeavor by reporting any stations that are known to mistreat, abuse, or neglect detainees, citing specific instances that can inform an overhaul of the systems which have proven ineffective. We call on the Inspector General of Police and IPOA to fully participate in this initiative by investigating and taking decisive action on every complaint that will escalate to their offices. Mr. Albert Onjwang must not be another statistic that we move on from when the next incident arises. Let us collectively take the pain of his death as the beginning of a necessary and overdue paradigm shift for our country and for our nation. Thank you. Can take a